What is up, guys? My name is Ronnie and I does makeup, and in today's video I'm just going to be comparing the Heather Austin and Adept Cosmetics palette and talking way too much. So if that is something that you're interested in, keep on watching. Alright, so I have pivoted this way for some swatches. I've kind of filmed this video in a weird way. I'm trying to work on my palette comparisons on how to make them more informative and more on what people want to see from the palette. So right now, I am focusing on shimmer comparisons between the Adept Cosmetics Heather Austin palette and other well-known indie brands. So here are some swatches. Let's go over what are in said swatches. So first up we have the shade Video Chat. Now Video Chat is a copper to red duochrome with a standard shimmer formula. So immediately underneath Video Chat we have Citrine from the It's Belle Cosmetics Flare Collection Remixed. It's less pigmented and more sparkly, but it still is like an orange to red duochrome. It just is more of a topper as opposed to a shimmer. And underneath that, we have Hello from the Indie Beat Cosmetics Platinum Hits Volume 2 collection, and it's just like a standard copper shimmer, but I do feel like if you were to put a pigment like Citrine, which I believe there is one in the Indie Beats Platinum Volume 2, I said that wrong. I feel like there is one. Give me a minute. If you were to put it on top, it would look similar. Maybe not exact. Give me 1 minute. I have ADD brain. I don't know why this didn't occur to me while I was doing the darn thing, but 7 Years and Citrine are pretty close together. So if you were to put Hello and 7 Years from the Platinum Hits Volume 2 on top of each other, you would still get like a coppery shimmer with like a red shift. I don't know if it would be like a duochrome, but it would have similar vibes. So next up we have Passport. Passport is very reminiscent of the original Plain Jane palette formula where it's kind of chunky and it's more of a pink to yellow, not yellow, just kind of like an iridescent gold duochrome. And underneath Passport I have Rosewater from the Flare Collection Remix palette by It's Belle Cosmetics. And underneath that, I have Starboy from Indie Beat Cosmetics Platinum Hits Volume 2 palette. And underneath that, I have Space Meow from Sugar Drizzle Cosmetics Pizza Kitty palette. Now, as you can see, they are all essentially the same one, but I do have to say that I don't know if Sugar Drizzle is private labeled or not, but I will say that it did feel a little more like firmly pressed into the pan, or maybe if just mine's a little bit special. Everyone else felt a little bit more like chunky, but the Sugar Drizzle palette one felt more like a regular shimmer, for me at least. But yeah, that's Passported, all its dupes. Not a lot to say because they're all basically the same one. So next up, we have the shade So Excited. Now, So Excited is kind of like a deep lilac shimmer with a little bit of like multicolored sparkles throughout. And I compared that to Give Me Glow Cosmetics ZENON. So ZENON has the deep lilac base like So Excited, but it also has like a green to yellow to blue shift to it. So it's a little more intense. So this was a little bit of a stretch, but I also compared ZENON and I guess So Excited to Sugar Drizzle's Sugar Water Sugar Rose Chrome Single Shadow. It is essentially the same shade as ZENON, so same thing. It has that deep lilac base, but there's just a little oomph to the Give Me Glow and to the Sugar Drizzle shadows, if I'm being completely honest. Next up, there's the shade 0603, and I compared that to Say Something from the Indie Beat Cosmetics Platinum Hits Volume 2. So Say Something is a little bit more of like a taupe shimmer, while 0603 has the same taupe shimmer base, but it has like pink and blue micro glitters kind of sprinkled all throughout, so it has a little bit of extra shimmer to it. I don't know if it picks up pretty well in the picture, but in person you can definitely tell, oh, there's some pink and there's some blue in this. So next up we have the shade Scrubs, which is a purple to blue standard shimmer duochrome. I compared Scrubs to Give Me Glow Cosmetics' Mermaid Waters. Mermaid Waters is a less opaque, more like a sparkly topper, and it has more of like a purple, blue, green shift, or the blue and the green shift to it is definitely more apparent, with the purple being more of like a base as opposed to being part of the shift. So it looks more bluish green in the swatch than Scrubs does. I also compared it to Lapis Lazuli from It's Belle Cosmetics' this Flare Collection Remix. I've said that 3 times. I'm keeping that one. I'm so sorry. But Lapis Lazuli is a chunkier, less sparkly formula. I also compared it to Sugar Drizzle's Sugar Rose Chrome Single Shadow in the shade Sugar Petal, which has a stronger blue shift, but with overall less sparkles, and it was a little less opaque. I had to pack it on a little bit more on the swatch to get it to full opacity. Next up was the shimmer Hey Y'all, which is a cool toned purple with pink and gold sparkles. I compared that to It's Belle Cosmetics' Make Me from their Break the Rules palette. It's a warmer toned purple that still has gold sparkles in it. The same description can be given to the following shade, which is Moon Man from the Sugar Drizzle Cosmetics' Pizza Kitty palette, as well as Sugar Bear from Sugar Drizzle Cosmetics' original Sugar Drizzle palette. They are all warmer purples with gold sparkles pressed into them. They're not nearly as neutral or cool as Hey Y'all is. Next up is the shade Austin. Now, Austin is a pink to yellow to blue shifting standard shimmer, and it looks like it has more of like a pink base. I compared that to Sugar Drizzle's Sugar Rose Chrome Single Shadow in the shade Florgeous, which has the same pink to yellow to blue shift, but it's set against a blue base. And I also compared it to ACI 10 from the Adept Cosmetics Plain Jane Anniversary Collection palette. Yes, which is much like Florgeous, has the pink to yellow to blue shift against a blue base. Just for fun, I wanted to see how it did against these next 2 single shadows that do have a little bit of like a green or blue oomph to them, but they're not, I just can't capture them nearly as strong. I guess the way that they shift is in a different order because I could just never get the shifts to all line up correctly, but I did Electric Unicorn by Give Me Glow Cosmetics, which is a pink to yellow shifting duochrome. Like I said, there's a little bit of green and blue in there. I just can never seem to pick it up on my camera. As well as the Sugar Drizzle Sugar Rose Chrome Single Shadow in the shade Sugar Dew. And it looks pretty much spot on for Electric Unicorn, but not near. It's almost like Austin. It's close but no cigar is the best way that I can describe it. And finally, we have the shade Smith, which is an orange to green duochrome with a standard shimmer formula. I first compared that to Emotions from the Sugar Drizzle Butterfly palette, which is just like a standard stunning copper shade. I then compared it to Capella from the It's Belle Cosmetics Cosmic Era Single Shadow collection, and it has a similar vibe where it's like the orange to green, but I will say that Smith is much more intense, but it's so close. If like the green were just a little bit deeper or the orange were just like a little more vibrant, it would be like there, you know? I then compared it to Stitches from the Indie Beat Cosmetics Platinum Hits Volume 2 palette, which is more like, instead of a green to orange duochrome, it's like an orange to green duochrome, so it's like flipped just to see, and it's cool, but again, it's like close but no cigar. And then once again for fun, I compared it to Give Me Glow Cosmetics' Dragon's Blood, which is like a yellow, green, blue shifting duochrome with a standard shimmer. It's a stunning shade, but it's way too vibrant and green in this lighting, and like the yellow is too yellow and the green is too green for it to be like this grungy green to orange duochrome, that for it to be like a true dupe, you know? So yeah, those are just the shimmer comparisons. I hope you found this part of the video very interesting. I actually ended up comparing the whole palette to another indie palette that has recently come out, and I just thought that it would be fun. This video is gonna have a different tone, if I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna pivot. I'm not gonna keep those swatches up for forever while I do this little bit. So I was originally gonna have this be like a 2 looks 1 palette comparison with the Druid palette, and then I did my first look and I was like, yeah, I'm totally gonna do like a look with the purples, and then I got a comment from one of my lovely subscribers saying you should compare just the shimmers, and it's like, I should compare just the shimmers. That's what most people care about when it comes to indie cosmetics. Why am I doing this to myself? So I decided to just do this as opposed to like just focusing on the purples for an eye look. So yeah, I'm still gonna keep the look that I filmed just for like a little bonus, just a little something on top. But yeah, I hope both parts of this video are informative, but if this is all that you wanted to see, because I'm probably just gonna title this video comparing the shimmers, because I feel like that's what most people want to see. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. If you want to see the wonderful eye look that I will achieve, I don't think I filmed anything, because I think I was just gonna film the intro and the swatches and the outro with the second look. If you want to see how I achieved this wonderful eye look, keep on watching. Hello! So now we're at the part of the video where I'm going to, it's only been like 3 minutes. Why am I like, it's been like maybe half a second for you guys. Why am I just like, there's been this long introduction and I need to reintroduce what I'm going to do next. Now I'm going to get into the Druid palette and Adept palette comparison. So before I get into like this specific comparison, I will say that the Druid palette retails for $38.99 plus shipping. I don't think they have a free shipping option because I think this is the only thing that they sell, which is pretty expensive for an indie palette, if I'm gonna be honest. And the Adept palette is, I think, 12 shades? 12? Yeah, 12. I'm gonna go with 12. It's right there. I can count it. Yeah, it's 12. 12 shades for $56. Things are expensive, man. So let's get right into these swatches. So first up, I compared Video Chat and Bare Form. So Video Chat is a copper to red duochrome. Bare Form is more of like a champagne bronze shimmer. Next, I did Magnolia and Forest. So both are dark teals, but Magnolia is very pigmented. It is actually like a joy to swatch. That's really dramatic. It's easy to swatch. It's not a joy to swatch. But with that, Forest is a struggle to swatch. It's difficult to swatch. And it was difficult to swatch whenever I did my comprehensive, just straight up video on this palette. So nothing's changed. Yay for consistency. Next up, I compared Mythology and Sage. So Mythology is more yellow while Sage oxidizes to a very sickly green, but they both end up blending out to a very similar tone. Next up, I compared the shade PA02 and Old Growth. Both are purple toned browns and both honestly have a very similar matte quality. Next up, I compared Atlas and the shade Root. So Atlas is a lighter brown that looks more peach or orange toned in the pan, but it actually oxidizes to be a more neutral brown, while Root is a darker neutral brown, but it still has that neutral tone to it. Next up, I compared Austin and the shades Balance and Transformation. So these don't look alike, but I wanted to see what the two like toppers of the palette looked compared to Austin if you combine them together, because Austin is honestly every single color of the rainbow and I really love it. And even in the before of this video, I couldn't find an exact dupe for it, and I just think that's awesome. But I was just curious. I had extra swatch space and I wanted to do something with it. So yeah, Austin is a very unique shade and it's super stunning. Next up, I compared the shades Hey Y'all and Regrowth. So Hey Y'all, as previously mentioned, is a warm-ish, more neutral purple with a gold flip to it, while Regrowth is a red with a gold flip to it. And finally, I compared Smith to Serenity. So Smith, as previously mentioned, is an orangey green duochrome, while Serenity is a stunning shimmering green with a slight gold shift. So yeah, those are the swatches of this palette. If you want to see how I achieved that wonderful eye look, keep on watching. Hi, I am definitely filming this today, and I'm definitely talking way too much. So let's get right into this. That way I can chit chat. So on this side, it's going to be the Fantasy Cosmetica palette, and on this side, it's going to be the Adept Cosmetics and Heather Austin palette. So on my Fantasy Cosmetica Druid palette, I'm going in with Sage. We're just going to put that in a fluffy brush and tap that right along my crease. It's a very yellow toned green. I love it. I am using much more of a tacky primer, so hopefully I don't get any issues like I got last time I used this palette. But I just put a light flush of color just so that way I have something in my crease. And then on the Adept Cosmetics side, I'm going in with Mythology. It looks like it's going to be a little bit more of a yellow, but we'll see what happens should it oxidize. And yeah, that's so far a lot more of a yellow. But there is also a lot more fallout. That is something that I've noticed with Adept Cosmetics mattes, is that they're a little bit more on the dry side. They're extremely pigmented, but rather fallout heavy and dry. They're a little bit different. You could definitely tell this is more yellow and this is more green. I think I am gonna build up mythology a little bit more and talk about where I've been. So hi, I know that I said that I was like, oh good, my life was pretty much good, but I knew I was going to Florida because that's where I've been, Florida, because I was gonna walk, but I thought I would be able to like pre-film and make everything work. Going in with Sage over here. I promise I didn't dip into mythology. And I graduated, and I'll probably put pictures, but I graduated, I walked, and it was amazing. I saw old friends, new friends, family. I spent, I guess in total 8 days. I arrived Thursday morning at like 8 a.m., got breakfast with friends, immediately went over to my grandma's house after that. So Thursday was like a full day, even though I landed, and then I left Friday, the following Friday, at like 6 in the morning, and I got back here by about 1 my time. I just keep building up both sides and using a color switch. I'm slowly building it up as opposed to what I did last time with my Fantasy Cosmetica mattes and like patting them down and blending them out and then wondering where they went. And I think I'm doing a much better job fallout wise and like everything wise. I did do all of my cheeks, which I probably shouldn't have done, but you know, I you know, live and learn, I say, but I never do. So I just live, I just go. But I had a wonderful time, and I thought that I could pre-film, but I cannot. I was cleaning my house and getting ready for the cat sitters, and I put up curtains, and that was like the big adult thing of my life. Although I was trying to drill into a stud, couldn't do it, so I just ended up hammering the drill bit into my wall. I'm an adult, I promise. But yeah. Pivoting back to the makeup for a little bit, I'm gonna go in on my Fantasy Cosmetica side with Forest. Now this blue did give me a little bit of issue last time. Here's hoping. Tacky primer, and with me just building slowly, I won't have nearly as many issues. But yes, I graduated from Florida State University, and you might remember me saying this about this time last year, because I actually graduated 2021. But I couldn't walk until this year, just due to COVID restrictions and a bunch of other things. So I've been waiting a year for this, and it was wonderful, and I loved it. But yeah, no, I haven't been in Florida since about last year. This was a much longer trip, and I don't know, I left feeling better about this trip, definitely. My mother's birthday is in August, and I had a lot of people who wanted to see me and wanted to congratulate me, so I didn't spend too much time with my family, sadly. So I'm debating on going back in August, if funds, money, you know, all that good stuff, allow. Okay, so I feel like this blue has built up really nicely. There's a little bit right here that doesn't want to like blend, so I'm gonna try and work on that a little bit more, but I'm having a much better time. Now, as you can see, I am bringing that a little bit into my crease and blending it. So far, I don't think I'm having any issues really, or any real issues. Whatever I was trying to say, you can fill in the blanks. I think this little reprieve is exactly what I needed, because I was starting to feel a little depressed. I think I have been for a while, but now I feel like reinvigorated again. I'm excited about things again. And I don't know, I always get into like this like seasonal depression, and right around now is whenever I start to come out of it, honestly. So I could just be blaming the good feelings on just my serotonin levels naturally being back up, but I don't know. All right, on my Adept Cosmetics side, I'm going in with Magnolia. Putting that down immediately, much more pigmented than Forest. May have gone in with a little bit too much, but I'm gonna make this work. But now I officially don't have anything else to do, like for several months. So if I am not uploading regularly, feel free to hit me all over my face, just wherever you feel, because there is no reason why I should not upload. Getting a little bit more fallout on the Heather Austin side. And that fallout is not wanting to go away. But so far, before this is all blended out, looking pretty similar. Okay, the shade Magnolia is not quite liking me. It looks a little patchy right there, a little patchy right there. Like This kind of is where my eye crease is. Am I getting that really over here? A little bit. It's a little bit more noticeable over here. Once again with like the fallout right here that just does not want to leave. Right, I'm gonna go in with just the teensiest little bit more of Magnolia just to try and level out those patchy areas. Just really focus on where it isn't wanting to stick. I think that helped a little bit. It still looks a little bit weird just like in this general area, but that is where my eye folds, so that'll cover it. I'm gonna take some of Mythology on that fluffy brush and just kind of try and blend out the edges. And now I'm gonna do the same thing over here with Sage. Okay, we'll be honest, this crease isn't my favorite. You can kind of see something like two little patchiness there and then right there, and I'm gonna keep blending. Okay, I don't think that's gonna get any better, and I feel like I've really blown out this eye. Then I need to match this eye to it. Okay, I think that is as even as I'm gonna get. Fallout is intense. All right. What do I want to go in with next? All right, I think I'm just gonna go in with the shimmers. I'm not gonna worry too much about cutting my crease. I'm just gonna go in and see how they perform. I'm gonna do something stupid that I don't think will look the best, but I want to do it anyway, just to see if I can make it work. Just to see. It sounded like I said just a see. I've been doing that way too much. I'm adding "ussy" to words I shouldn't. Anyway, why am I saying this? I'm gonna go in with Serenity on my Druid palette side. It's the very center shade. It's the putty, kind of chunky green, but it is so shiny. All right, so there is that. Again, no glitter glue, didn't prime with anything. That is just the shimmer, and it is really, really good. Now, I compared Serenity to the shade Smith, which is a much more like orange to green duochrome. My goodness, she is also very pretty. I think the shimmers in these palettes would be great like companions for one another. So here is this. Again, no cut crease, no nothing. It's just the shade. I feel like it just kind of naturally blends into the matte. That's really cool. Love both, but they're definitely starting to look a little different. So next, I'm taking some of Bare Form on my Druid palette, which is the more nude shimmer, putting that in the inner quarter and blending it into the green. I just want to have fun. I was worried that Bare Form was going to be a little bit darker than the green, so it'd look weird, but it looks like it's light enough. Oh, this is just a stunning copper. I love this. And it blends into Serenity really nicely. There is a little bit of fallout, but I just think that's really pretty. Okay, so there's that side. I do not mind it. I'm gonna blend these two in a little bit more in just a minute. Let me finish up the Heather Austin side with the shade Video Chat. All right, so I'm taking Video Chat, just messing with it in the pan. It is softer formula, kind of like putty, like Serenity, the chunky that I talk about. Oh, this is like a red. Oh, you see the red? Oh, I need to, okay. Form a full sentence, please. Oh, that is so cool. It looks like nude, but it also looks red. Oh, I love this. Does it look more like nude on camera? Yes. But in person, it looks, wait, let's see if I can. Oh man, I wish I were smart. I am a child. I'm gonna take a little bit more Video Chat. Since it is more like soft and more putty, you do need kind of like a lot of it, because I really want to make that red apparent. This is such a stunning shade though. Okay, I feel like I got the red a little bit. Oh, that is so pretty. Yeah, you can, oh my God, that is so interesting. I love eyeshadow. I'm too hype. I'm too hype. I'm too much right now. Let me blend the shades into one another a little bit more, and then I'll be right back. I'm back, and this is the final look. I think I'm gonna do another look focusing on the purples and such from this from both palettes, I should say. The purples and like the nudes and the browns. I know that I use like the nude shimmer, so I might repeat a little bit, but you know what? Whatever, I'm feeling both of these palettes. I don't think they look too different on camera. I think that it just kind of looks like this one's more sparkly, but this one's more like intense and like deep. But in person, I guess I would say, yeah, this one's more sparkly, this one's more intense and deep. But I like both of these palettes. It's kind of hard to cover up that fallout right there. I have to like aim down here in order for you to see it, but I don't think this is bad. And I'm excited to use both these palettes again. So keep on watching if you want to see something more purple, brown. I almost said blue, but I already have blue. Just keep going. Alright, so as you can see, I never did that purple eye look because of the wonderful idea to just focus on doing the shimmers of the Heather Austin comparison, because that is what my focus should be on, because that's what the people want to see. So, thank you everybody so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!